The game Venba is very enjoyable to play. It follows a young Indian couple that migrates from their country to Canada. It goes through their struggles of trying to implement themselves into the culture as well as raising a family. And it has very beautiful artwork. It's colorful. The story is a very good story. It's short, but they actually get quite to the point. I'm going to rate this game on a scale of 1 to 20 based off of the story, its gameplay, visuals, and some room for improvement. So as far as the story, it's a good story. It's short, but the plot is very good. It's an accurate portrayal of what it's like to be an immigrant in a country that you're new to and trying to find work, trying to raise a family and still stay true to your culture. I wish that the story was a bit longer and it was fleshed out more. And also I wish that there was more gameplay to match the amount of story. So as far as story, from a scale of 1 to 5, I'll give it a 4. So the gameplay was quite simple. The mechanics weren't too intense. There was probably maybe 2 or 3 buttons that you needed to press, so it makes it very easy for children to play or elder people. It needed more gameplay to go with the story, and it was already not that much of a story. The game was pretty short. I was able to finish it in one day, in one sitting. So that goes to show how much enjoyable it is, but it was also a bit of a letdown because it left me wanting more. So definitely you need more gameplay for the story. So there's about 70% story and about 30% gameplay. But it doesn't take away from how good the story is. So I didn't mind it so much. I was a bit disappointed when the game ended so early because I felt like there were so many missed opportunities, which I'll get into in the room for improvement section. So as far as gameplay, for a scale of 1 out of 5, I'd give it a 3. Now the visuals for the game were excellent. They were vibrant. It was a beautiful art concept full of colors. The food was perfectly replicated. It made you feel like you were actually cooking, even with the game's simple game mechanics. And the style for the story and the gameplay went perfectly together hand in hand. So for visuals and art concept, chef's kiss, I give that a 5 out of 5. There's nothing that I would change about it, and there was nothing lacking of it. Now, the room for improvement, I have a few things that I think would make this game soar to the top of the mountain. So, I noticed when you're cooking, they don't have any difficulty level. Like, for an example, if you're cooking something, they should have like a timer. If you don't flip it quick enough, then it gets a burn and you have to start all over again. Or they could also do things like add more information cards. So I noticed there was an information card explaining one of the earlier recipes, but then when I got into the game, near the middle and the end, there were no descriptions, no recipes. There were like little pop-ups that told you what the names of the ingredients were. But beyond that, they could have took the game to the next level by, adding in more description, making the cooking a little more complex. I saw what they tried to do, and I feel like if they just took a few more steps out and gave that to the player to do, as far as like cutting up the vegetables instead of just grabbing a bowl and dumping them into the pot, it would really elevate the game. And you could also add more game mechanics so you can use more buttons. So one button could be used for slicing, one button for dicing, one button for julienne. There could have been different recipe books from different family members, or puzzles that you did in the recipe to actually put them together. You know, there were so many different ways that you guys could have expanded on the gameplay. Don't get me wrong, it's a great game, but it could have soared to the top of the mountains. As far as like the story, if you added just a little more gameplay and a little more story, made the game longer, it would be great. There are life events like birthday parties that could have been thrown into the story. There are events that could have been added, like a wedding. You could have also continued it with the son meeting a woman in India and him having to struggle with the culture he was raised with, and his child being raised in the traditional Indian culture. But that could all be done in a second installment. I'm just thinking of different ways that the game could have been expanded and made into more. But that's all I can really think of as far as room for improvement. Everything else was great. So as far as that grade, I would give them from a 1 to 5, I would give them a 3. Because yes, it was a good game, but there were so many missed opportunities that would have took this game to the next level. So my overall score is a 15 out of 20, which would make it a B+ game. I mean, on Steam it has a 9 out of 10. It has great reviews. People love it, but the company that does this, the developers that made this game, they're called Design. You guys should really try making a series of cooking games like this, where it shows different cultures and shows different traditions and life events, but brings it all together within a story that mainly focuses on cooking and information about those deals and the traditions that surround them. It would really bring your games out the woodwork. People would love them. I mean, this game already is very comforting. It's definitely a cozy game. Art style is beautiful. Story is beautiful. I mean, what can I say? 15 out of 20 B+ score. I definitely recommend you if you want to find a good stress reliever or a cozy game to play, or even if you don't know how to cook but you just want to simulate it and learn a little at the same time. Venba will be a great game to play. I also have some gameplay in the video, so I want you guys just to check it out so you can see a little bit of what I'm talking about. I hope you enjoyed the video, and check back for more game reviews. Thanks.